For more on the crisis in the Middle East, I'm joined by Edmund Ghareeb. He's a Middle East analyst. Good to see you, Edmund. One year on, this crisis has now moved, or gained another front, I should say, in Lebanon. What would you say Israel's long-term goal is in Lebanon?
This is a very good question, because while the Israelis saying that they want to contain Hezbollah, they have already assassinated several of its leaders. But however, killed many more civilians. They have destroyed that part of the infrastructure in the south, and as well as in Beirut. And while they say that their main purpose is to contain Hezbollah, there are those who believe that the Israeli government, the real purpose of Prime Minister Netanyahu, is not so much to contain Hezbollah as to basically expand his Israel's land grab to include South Lebanon, as they are trying to also expand the land grab in Gaza, and that is also infuriating the Egyptians. So basically, these are among some of the goals of Prime Minister Netanyahu, in addition to the original plan that he had talked about, to have an Indian Ocean route, basically going through to Europe. And some people see it as a sort of in competition with the old Silk Road that China now is supporting.
Will spreading this war into Lebanon, though, make it harder for Israel to achieve its goals in Gaza?
I think this is a very good question again, because primarily what we are seeing is that the Israelis now have two wars, one in Lebanon and one in Gaza. Many Israeli experts, as well as some American experts, including some experts who have been dealing with this issue for a long time, they are saying that this is going to make life much more difficult for the Israelis, and that while Israel may be able to destroy the infrastructure, they might be able to assassinate some of the leaders, this does not mean that they are going to be able to defeat Hezbollah. At the same time, also, they have not defeated Hamas after almost 1 year of fighting. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the 7th of October attacks. And so that raises questions. What's the purpose of Prime Minister Netanyahu?
Right.
And it's also beginning to raise questions among some U.S. officials about the justification and the wisdom of sending troops to the Middle East, and whether this will increase the escalation, or will it really to contain it, as some hope.
If Iran, though, has seemingly lost Hamas and Hezbollah as effective deterrents, what does it mean for the nuclear enrichment or the prospect of nuclear arms in Iran?
Well, this is one of the most dangerous things. That's why we are seeing some of the radical or Israelis, as well as some supporters in the U.S., people such as Senator Graham, who have said that they should attack the oil facilities as well as the nuclear facilities. But this is an extremely dangerous thing. First, how easy is it going to be? They might be able to destroy some of the infrastructure, nuclear infrastructure that is on the surface. But the Iranians have also built a number of nuclear facilities underground, and that makes it very difficult to reach it. Also, it might push the Iranians to build their own nuclear bombs, and if Israel continues to attack, or if it attacks the nuclear facilities, it attacks the oil facilities, the infrastructure, then that means that they might respond to Israel by making their own bomb and using it against Israel. And this is what concerns some U.S. officials.
So what are the potential ways a wider conflict can be averted, do you think?
Well, I think primarily the main country right now that has influence over Israel and has not used it so far is the United States, even though we are seeing some tension between the United States and Israel that's rising. In fact, when Kamala Harris, the vice president, was asked on 60 Minutes today whether Netanyahu is a close ally of the United States, she skirted the question and said that basically we are friends. If you're asking whether the American people and the Israeli people are friends, yes, they are. So she skirted the question about Netanyahu, and that shows that there is a great deal of concern about the policies Prime Minister Netanyahu is pursuing. But also today, the French, President Macron, during the meeting of the Francophone countries, 88 countries, called on the world to stop sending weapons to Israel. That might be another way of trying to stop this, and calling for bringing an end to the fighting that's killing a lot of civilians. And we are seeing now that a gasoline station in Beirut that's owned, one of the stations owned by French companies, have been attacked several times by Israeli jets today.
All right, Edmund Ghareeb, really appreciate your time.
Thank you very much.